Simply canny, the most loved player in history. Tell me, how can you look at this crazy person and not sympathize with him? Yeah, that's right. Today we're going to talk about a player that I particularly like a lot, N'Golo Kante. My name is Brunox, and we're going to a video. N'Golo Kante was born on March 29, 1991, in Paris, France, to immigrants from Mali. From an early age, his life was marked by a reality far removed from the glamour that his name would achieve. Raised in a simple environment, Kante learned to value effort and perseverance. His father, a garbage collector, took him with him to work, and this experience was crucial in the player's development. Living with his father on the streets of Paris taught him not only the importance of hard work, but also humility and respect for the little things in life. Even facing financial difficulties and a life far from comfort, Kante never stopped believing in his dream of becoming a football player. His humble childhood and his life with his father shaped his personality and, later, his career in sports. His dedication to his work, even in the most challenging conditions, was reflected in his way of playing football. As a teenager, he began playing for amateur clubs, and his dedication and talent soon attracted attention. Over time, the work ethic he learned on the streets turned into his trademark on the field. Always humble, always focused, always willing to do his best, no matter the situation. N'Golo Kante took his first steps in football at the academy of JS Chourisins, a modest club on the outskirts of Paris. It was there that he began to show his potential, but at the same time, he faced a great challenge: his height. At just over 1.70 m, Kante did not fit the profile of players who used to be recruited by bigger clubs, which prioritized players with more physical presence. The reluctance of big teams to sign him due to his physical size was an initial difficulty, but far from discouraging him, it only fueled his determination. Kante knew he would need to work harder than others to compensate for his lack of size. And that's exactly what he did. His main characteristic has always been an incredible capacity for work. He stood out for his tireless energy, his desire to run all over the field, and his ability to read the game exceptionally well. With unusual tactical intelligence, Kante was able to anticipate plays, cover spaces, and, often, disarm opponents in crucial moments. His dedication and his ability to run without stopping, despite his height being a disadvantage, turned this problem into one of the biggest differentiators of his career. N'Golo Kante's journey into professional football began modestly, but with hard work that soon attracted attention. After standing out in the youth teams at JS Chourisins, he took his first step towards professional football when he was signed by Boulogne, a club in France's third division. It was in this challenging scenario that Kante had the opportunity to show his skills and, more importantly, his tireless disposition on the field. Although Boulogne was a lower division club, Kante soon stood out for his intensity, his intelligent positioning, and his ability to recover balls, qualities that soon made him one of the team's most valuable players. After 2 successful seasons at Boulogne, Kante took another step in his career when he was transferred to Caen, in the French second division. His time at Caen was remarkable because, in addition to showing his talent at the highest level, he played a crucial role in the campaign for access to Ligue 1, the first division of French football. Kante, with his workforce and tactical intelligence, was one of the team's pillars. His ability to win back possession and his vision of the game helped Caen secure their return to the elite of French football. By the end of that season, it was clear that Kante was no longer just a promise, but one of France's most important midfielders. This period, although marked by his rise in a more modest scenario, already showed the characteristics that would define his career: tireless work, intelligence, and incredible dedication to the team. Kante was ready to take the next step, and the doors to Europe's big clubs were beginning to open. In 2015, N'Golo Kante took a significant step forward in his career by signing for Premier League side Leicester City after excelling at Caen. His transfer was seen by many as a risk, but few imagined that this move would put him at the center of one of football's greatest success stories. Kante quickly adapted to the fast, physical style of the Premier League, and quickly became a key part of Leicester's scheme. The 2015-16 season was historic for the club, which, against all expectations, won the Premier League title. Leicester City, previously considered a team with no chance of challenging for the title, had an impressive campaign under the command of Claudio Ranieri. And Kanté was one of the main players in this extraordinary feat. His incredible ability to recover balls in midfield, his impeccable reading of the game, and the tireless energy with which he roamed the field became crucial elements for the team's success. Kanté, with his work ethic, became the team's engine, covering spaces and providing the defensive base for Leicester's attackers such as Jamie Vardy and Riyad Mahrez to shine. In addition to his tackling ability, Kanté also stood out for his vision of the game and the way he distributed simple but effective passes, helping his team to quickly transition from the defensive sector to the attack. His presence in midfield was fundamental to the team's solid structure, allowing Leicester to play with freedom and confidence. When Leicester won the Premier League title, Kanté established himself as one of the best midfielders in Europe, being recognized for his exceptional contribution. Not only was he a key player in the historic achievement, but he also won the hearts of fans, who saw in him the embodiment of hard work, humility, and dedication. By the end of that magical season, Kanté was already being seen as one of the Premier League's most valuable players and was ready to take the next step in his career. In 2016, after his brilliant season with Leicester City, N'Golo Kanté took another big step in his career by moving to Chelsea, one of the most powerful clubs in England. His arrival at Stamford Bridge was surrounded by expectations, and it didn't take long for him to establish himself as one of the key players in the Blues midfield. Under the command of Antonio Conte, Kanté quickly adapted to Chelsea's style of play, being fundamental in the Italian coach's tactical scheme, who used him in a defensive midfielder role, but with freedom to move and also act in attack. Kanté's first season at Chelsea was a resounding success. He was a central player in winning the 2016-17 Premier League, with Chelsea standing out for their defensive solidity and their ability to move quickly between phases of the game, something that Kanté did like no one else. His ability to win possession, intercept passes, and cover great distances on the pitch helped transform Chelsea into an unbeatable machine. And he was awarded the title of PFA Player of the Year, Association of Professional Football Players, for the second consecutive time. The following season was also successful, with Chelsea winning the 2017-18 FA Cup. Kanté, once again, was crucial to the victory, with his ability to dominate the midfield and neutralize the opposition's threats. His presence in the team became a determining factor in victories in domestic and international competitions. Furthermore, in 2019, Kanté was a key player in winning the UEFA Europa League, where Chelsea defeated Arsenal in the final. His ability to control the pace of the game and make decisive passes was essential to the team's success in the competition. The pinnacle of Kanté's Chelsea career, however, came in 2021, when he helped the club win the UEFA Champions League. In the final against Manchester City, Kanté was simply unbeatable, being named the best player of the match. His performance in midfield, where he disarmed, distributed precise passes, and nullified City's main threats, was essential for Chelsea to win the cup. This Champions League victory completed his collection of international titles and established Kanté as one of the best midfielders in the world. In addition to collective titles, Kanté also collected several individual awards throughout his career. He was included in several season teams such as UEFA Team of the Year and others Premier League Team of the Year, in addition to receiving awards such as the FWA, Football Writers Association, Player of the Year. His humility and consistency on the pitch have made him one of the most respected players in world football. N'Golo Kanté's debut for the French national team took place in 2016, at an important moment in his career. After standing out with Leicester City, the midfielder was called up to play in the Euro 2016, which took place in France. Although France were defeated in the final by Portugal, Kanté played a crucial role in the campaign, showing all his talent and his ability to recover balls and protect the defense. His presence in midfield was vital to the team's quick transition, helping to maintain balance between defense and attack. Even in a heartbreaking defeat, Kanté emerged as one of the best players in the competition, cementing his status as one of the best midfielders in the world. 2 years later, in 2018, Kanté had his greatest moment with the French national team, as it is a fundamental part in the achievement of World Cup. Since the group stage, Kanté has stood out for his ability to neutralize opponents, cut off passes, and destroy attacks with his impressive ability to read the game. His performance in midfield was the basis for the team's success, which remained solid and balanced throughout the competition. In the final against Croatia, Kante was decisive, helping to control the pace of the match and contributing to the 4-2 victory. Despite his vital role in winning the world title, what caught the most attention was the humility of Kante after the victory. Instead of seeking the spotlight or hyping up his performance, Kante remained low-key, celebrating with his teammates and acknowledging their collective effort. He, who has always been known for his modesty and dedication, did not let himself be carried away by fame and preferred to put the team ahead of any individual recognition. After the title, when many saw him as one of the best players in the tournament, Kante demonstrated that, for him, the most important thing was the collective achievement and the joy of being part of a united team alongside his teammates. His calm and humble attitude, despite being one of the best players in the world, enchanted fans and colleagues, further solidifying his image as an example of ethics, respect, and hard work. The 2018 World Cup victory, along with his humble stance, made Kante not only an icon of French football, but also a symbol of humility and professionalism in sport. N'Golo Kante is, without a doubt, one of the most respected and admired players in world football, not only for his talent on the field, but also for his simple manner and humility, qualities that make him an example of professionalism and character. One of the stories that best illustrates his simplicity is the way he lives off the field. Kante is known for going to training camp's popular car. Even with the high salaries he receives as an elite player, he has never been carried away by luxury and continues to drive a modest car, which reflects his discreet personality and his focus on simpler aspects of life. He is also famous for refusing big parties and luxury events, preferring to spend their time with close friends or in the company of their family, away from the spotlight. This attitude is a reflection of his behavior off the field, always avoiding ostentation and remaining faithful to the values he learned in his childhood. His devotion to family is another striking characteristic of Kante. He has a very close relationship with his relatives, especially his mother, who has always been a source of inspiration and support for him. In several interviews, Kante revealed how much he values moments with his loved ones and how family has always been a priority in his life. Despite being a global star, he never lost touch with his roots and continues to be an example of humility for younger people, especially those who see him as an inspiration. In 2023, Kante made an important change in his career when he transferred to Al Ittihad, one of the most traditional clubs in Saudi Arabia. The transfer was confirmed after several successful seasons at Chelsea, where he won important titles such as the Premier League and the UEFA Champions League. Kante's decision to move to Saudi Arabia was seen as part of a growing trend of high-profile players moving to Saudi football, which has invested heavily in international signings. This change also came at a time when Kante, after many years of success and a successful career in Europe, was looking for new challenges and a change of scenery. In addition to the sporting issue, Kante's transfer to Saudi football also involved attractive financial factors, with Al Ittihad offering a highly lucrative contract. The decision has sparked discussion in the football world, as some see it as a career-ending move, while others point to the opportunity to continue playing in a competitive environment, but in a league that is still growing on the international stage. Kante is seen as one of the greatest midfielders of his generation, and his move to Saudi football reflects both changes in the transfer market and the player's personal search for new horizons. N'Golo Kante is a true example of overcoming and humility. From a difficult childhood, where he worked alongside his father as a garbage collector, to reaching the top of world football, his trajectory is inspiring. His dedication and work ethic led him to achieve impressive titles, such as Premier League, a FA Cup, a Champions League, and others World Cup, always standing out for his humility and focus on the collective. The transfer to the Al Ittihad in Saudi Arabia marks a new phase, but its story, marked by effort, respect, and devotion to family, continues to inspire millions. N'Golo Kante, with his simple manner and tireless work, is an example of how true talent goes beyond the field, being a life lesson for all of us.